Jason. Welcome to Friends of Food.
Hello, hello.
So for our first What's Cooking series, we are giving you a mystery box challenge. These ingredients before you can be commonly found at home or at a grocery store, so you can open it and take a look.
Okay, these ingredients are really quite common. Okay, to use all these common ingredients, the leftovers, we will definitely first of all render the fats to make it almost like a bacon thing. And once the fats has enough flavor, the pan has enough flavor, these two elements will be a sauce. We'll definitely use this as a sauce to mix it. We will definitely reduce it to make it a sauce consistency, because usually at home or at a kitchen, right, we will use a slurry. And slurry, we can actually reduce it and thicken the sauce, but we don't have it here and we don't have butter. So we will use a lot of natural flavorings of mushroom, the beans, and definitely garlic and pork. So we will definitely do a pork pasta dish with cream, with fake cream. First thing of business, right, every time when y'all do a stuff on a home cook, at where cook, right, you must always, you don't cook and cut at the same time. Always make sure you cut finish, then you then cook. Right, because this is what we call mise en place in the kitchen. You have to make sure everything is in order. That's why you reduce your movement, you don't really run up and down, then go find later you forget this, forget that. So you make sure everything is in stock, everything is in place, then you then start cooking, open the fire. We'll do a proper cut on the garlics to make it into a uniform shape. We will slice the onion, we will sort of make a caramelized onion in the bowl. Okay, onions done, garlic done. Actually, all these ingredients today is very Chinese. Except this bacon. Bacon, I don't think Chinese really uses much bacon. Right now, we're just gonna cut it into a mid-length size. So we are not gonna make sure that we're gonna eat the whole long bean. We're just gonna cut it shorter. We reduce the cooking time, because basically small thing cook faster. This one is a very common item. There's always, if you see at Sheng Siong, right, it's always on discount one. I'm very good at discount. This one, right, is a shimeji mushroom. Always comes in white or brown. Then it's always 2 packets for 355. But now GST, I never go and buy it again already lah. This one, right, very easy to trim one. This one, mushroom, and friendly advice, right, do not wash a mushroom. If you want to do mushroom, right, you can just use a tissue paper, just wipe it down. Mushroom don't wash, because like I said from the start, mushroom are sponges. They will absorb flavors. If you add in water, right, it will just basically absorb tasteless water inside it. So this shimeji mushroom, later on when you prep, right, they prep already, but you can just cut off the roots, then just separate it. It will just all become this nice little piece already lah. For the pork, right, since I'm going to render the fats, we will cut into strips. We will cut into strips, then we will later on throw in everything. Then we will throw into the pork to let it render for the flavors to come out, everything. Because since their oil not enough, we will use the pork fats as part of the flavors. Later on, I will be cooking everything in the one pot thing. So we will not be washing the pots that often. We will just throw everything. We will just continue simmering the flavors. The flavors will just deepen and deepen through the layers. This one we are just slicing it. We don't need to really do much, because through cooking, right, not just mushroom, there's vegetable, there's meat, everything. You have to take into consideration the yield. Every time you cook already, right, all stuff has water, and when you cook already, right, the water content will drain it off. Item will become smaller and smaller. That's why when cooking, you don't just take into consideration of you buy this 100 gram, or you're gonna serve 100 gram directly. Sometimes you buy 100 gram, right, you're just serving that 30 gram, because 70% has been lost to cooking, has been lost to moisture, everything. Okay, can. We will render the fats. Okay, like I say, right, because whatever pan you use, non-stick or whatever, right, always add a little bit of oil. Add in a little bit to really sort of lubricate the pan. Then later on, you just have to throw in your bacon. This bacon, right, do the lowest heat. If you got the time, just do the lowest heat, throw at the side, it doesn't matter. Just leave it, then later on, you just spread it. Then you just let it cook. Okay, the bacon is gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take you at least 10 to up to 15 minutes, depending on your heat, depending on your power source and all. Induction is usually quicker. It will start getting crispier and crispier. That's why we cut to a smaller part. More oil will come out. You will keep forcing the oil out. But you need to keep stirring the part, so because if you don't stir the pot, it will stick on it will burn your bacon, and you don't want any burnt food. Now the bacon is not done yet, but the bacon has, you can see, the bacon has shrink a lot. Like I said, the yield, right, it will shrink a lot. The moisture, the fats has all come out, and it's starting to become crispier and crispier already. Okay, Since now this is almost done already, right? We just throw the onion in, because end of the day, onion is gonna cook shorter than bacon. So you have to adjust your cooking temperature. We're gonna throw the onion in already. When it starts to caramelize together with the bacon and all, then we throw the garlic in. So you gotta throw it in step by step. And I always say when I cook, I always season every layer, because right, every layer has a different flavor, and it's also, if you forget to season at a finished touch, right, at least there's still layer at different flavors. So season every layers. You don't need to season a lot. Just throughout the steps, just season by little by little. Okay, at this point, add a little bit of liquid. Alright, add a little bit of liquid, have some, prevent it from burning and all, really sort of accelerate the cooking. For pasta, right, you should always like play like when your childhood game, this type of tiki-taka thing. Put in the center, let it spread. Dry spaghetti, right, minimum also 5 minutes. So you time yourself, 5 minutes, you test out. Now we are gonna undercook, so there's no point in tasting it. We just make sure that you cook 5 minutes or at least 2 minutes. If you got a packaging takes 7 minutes, then you cook 6 minutes. Undercook it. Now my alarm just ring, right? This is 100%, right? You see the concept, you know it's undercooked already. Don't go and taste it, because it's obviously undercooked. But right now, like I say, we're gonna do a one pot thing. Later we're gonna throw everything, create like a one pan paella style. Now you bring back your pork and onion. Throw the garlic in. Now we're gonna throw the French bean. We're gonna throw the mushroom, everything. You can undercook everything. I want right now, right, what we are doing is we are undercooking everything, because right now we're gonna steam the whole dish. A little bit of pepper, definitely salt. Like I say, season every layer. Throw in a little bit of pasta water to accelerate the cooking. Okay, now chicken stock and your milk all both go in. Remember, watch the heat. When you're throwing in, when you're dealing with dairy, right, do not let your dairy boil, because once your dairy start boiling, right, you will split the whole sauce already. Okay, now we're gonna throw the cheese in. The cheese in is we're gonna throw the cheese. It doesn't matter, your cheese can be in a very unusual shape or weird shape lah. So you just have to throw your cheese in. Then you stir, keep stirring until the cheese breaks apart. Remember to always constantly stirring, guys. You don't need to stand there and stir for the whole cooking session, but you need to always once in a while be there, stir, make sure that nothing stuck at the bottom of the whole pan. Okay, right now this part already, right, you can throw your pasta in. Like I said, your pasta one is undercooked. Okay, so you undercooked already, right? We are gonna steam the pasta a little bit. We're gonna get our cover later on. We're gonna steam the pasta. Steam it for another 2 to 3 minutes. Now we wait for 2 minutes. Before to conclude that whether it's done right, make sure that, like I say, you always taste, because we already undercooked our pasta, so we need to taste whether the pasta is really cooked or not. But you don't do this at home, okay? You should use a fork unless you're not scared of hot lah. Okay, now we are done. The pasta tastes flavorful enough. We just have to finish touch. Some chili, some pepper. Then if you got some spring onion, you got this and that, then you can just garnish it as per usual lah. For right now, since we are using whatever ingredient we have access to, then we are done already. Okay, so now the dish is done already, right? So basically, if I don't use all the ingredients, I will leave the French bean out. I will leave the cream out, because right now, if we want to do a standardized meal, then you want to keep the meals, right? I will leave the dairy out. I will just cook a pork and mushroom pasta. Then I will keep the French bean. I'll keep the milk to another dish. Then maybe you can also do a milk dish with French bean. Then you can keep some mushroom. You can make some vegetarian dish with the pasta. So you can do a vegetarian pasta. You can do a pork pasta. You can always divide out. Be creative. Be fun. Have fun. Creative. Do different meal plans, right? Although the same ingredient, I'm using everything, but you can do different ingredients at different point of the time. You can always be creative and have fun all around. So I'm not taking and tasting my food now. So even if I eat, not because of camera, I still need to look good lah because of camera. Then you twirl your pasta. Good seasoning as usual. Thank you for tuning to Friends of Food, What's Cooking. Alright, so click here for subscribe and click here for more juicy and exciting content.